you really have a level of proactivity that is very contagious and makes you even want to work more for your own company. Yeah, you understand very quickly what I wanted, and you really come every day to make that happen across months. And then over the 6 months that you joined, I think there was a point where we would just have 20 meetings a week, which was too much. But, it's the best problems to have too many sales calls.
In this next video over here, you're going to see an interview with myself and my previous client, Sebastian, and we're going to talk a bit about our experience working together, as well as how together we managed to build, launch, and scale his agency, where today he's working with massive clients over here in London, but also around the world. And we're just going to share a few insights on how we managed to do that. So enjoy. To get started, I think what's good is just if you want to give people a general intro. I know you're working on some really cool things at the moment. So do you want to tell us who you are, what company you're running in, and what you're working on at the moment?
Yes. So I'm Sebastian. I run a digital agency. We started 6 years ago in the UK, and we got established across Africa, Asia, and Europe. We focus nowadays mainly on SaaS platforms and automations. We do much of retainer work with a white glove offer. And that's it in very short.
Very cool. And we started working together around a year ago, right? And I just wanted to know, so we met at a time where you were relaunching everything, and then we came on and we were really at the 0 to 1 stage, if that's a correct guess.
Yes, that is correct. I had just moved back to Europe, and so I had to restart my whole offering, my whole prospection approach, as it was very different than from where I was living before in Ivory Coast. We wanted to establish a quick sales cycle website offer. Back in the days, our offering was mainly focused on websites, and a systemized process to get it live in front of prospects and convert those into customers.
Nice. And I never asked you this, but we got along obviously on a personal level, but on a professional level, how was your experience working with me?
Yeah, it was very good. I was actually reading through a conversation yesterday's, and you really have a level of proactivity that is very contagious and makes you even want to work more for your own company, which is good. But yeah, you understand very quickly what I wanted, and you really come every day to make that happen across months. So yeah, and that's very unique, to be honest.
Thank you. Thank you very much, man. I do appreciate that. And during our time working together, what were the main things that you feel I helped with in your own personal and also workflow as a founder?
Yeah, I think I like to work just a little bit how I feel it. And that's how it was before you came. And over time, there were consequences, to my time management, to also just my personal life. And I think you're able to very well pinpoint which processes could just be streamlined or automated. And we did that, and it worked well. And yeah.
Nice. Yeah, amazing. I know we're doing a lot of everything in the very beginning. It was like wear many hats type of situation, which also led it to be chaotic, but also in quite a fun way, I would say. I'm not sure if you agree. You had a more high level view of everything.
Yes.
But yeah. But I wanted to ask as well, we did go through some growth in the agency while we're working together. Can you outline that growth for it? So in between the times where we work together, and also talk about maybe where you're at now, relative to the work we did in the beginning.
Yeah. So when we started out, I think I had reached out to a couple of people when it was before you joined, on Bark it was, which was okay. It converted very little. And then over the 6 months that you joined, I think there was a point where we would just have 20 meetings a week, which was too much. But, it's the best problems to have too many sales calls. And so yeah, ultimately that shows that the process worked. It allows to not only obviously get pipeline volume in, but to check out which offering was resonating the best, allowed us to quickly pivot, quickly iterate on our product, and get feedback from prospect and clients alike. We grew from just me to then you to a team of 8 people in the span, between January and July. And that's a pretty good track record. And through this experience, I finally managed to find an offer that works best. It's a lower, slower sales cycle, retainer offer, which now I can afford to just have less clients, less salespeople, and just live a pretty peaceful life as a founder. All perspective, obviously, but way less stressful, and that doesn't work without any trial and error. So yeah, no, I still feel it today.
Nice. And like so we went through the same experiences in the grind where we're in the trenches working together. What have you brought from that to where you are now? Like, how do you operate based on the previous lessons that you learned now? Because you mentioned peace, and that is like very rare as a founder, especially when you're building a business and agency. Walk us through like the lessons you learned from that time together too, and how you're applying them right now.
Yeah, I got to learn what is important in the focus of my operations. I think it's very easy early on, especially as we got that traction and we got like all those prospects, to think that you're an enterprise and you need to do everything like an enterprise. And through this early success that we had, it became very hard to manage everything. And so I had to start learning to see what is important, what provides value, and also see that I'm not an enterprise. I just initially want to make money. What makes money, and then what can I have as other budget that will save me time or make more money. But that comes as a secondary thought. So now I managed to make money. I managed to save time, and so I have the peace of mind to think what do I want to do next without being rushed by it through time. And so that works because I had this initial whirlwind of everything coming towards us. That kind of forced me to react to everything and learn what works and what doesn't, which you kind of have to go through. I don't think you can read through it or just listen to me speak about it.
Yeah, I think it's very hard to just flow through it. Everyone I speak to has had some sort of like a in the trenches lock and arc, and it's maybe it was stressful at the time, but it's ultimately been a net positive in hindsight. And honestly, like speaking to you, we spoke before we started this interview as well. It seems like you're doing quite well for yourself. So that's really good to hear, man.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. Yeah.
It's like this.
For now. Yeah. And so I'm basically going to be taking on more consulting clients over the next few months. And from your perspective, like what went well on our experiences working together, and if you were to recommend anybody who's on the fence of working with me, what would you recommend them, and for what reasons?
I think you have a very grounded understanding of operations, which is something that many early founders don't have. They have this big dream and this big vision, and how to achieve it is something that needs grounded operations. And you also have the experience of actually building a couple of startups in different fields, different ways. Which is really a required experience. I think if you don't understand how to get this initial operation going, you're just gonna burn out and be disappointed about the results you're getting. Because when you first build, when you're first founder, this is when you really believe in it the most, and you really have not seen any pushback yet. And so, I think having a rational person to tell you what is doable and what is not, and how to make it work, and what to make work as well, and the focus of it is pretty invaluable. And obviously as well, have someone who is as energetic about what you're doing as you are, which you were when you work with me, and I suppose you are with other people as well.
Yeah, I think the reciprocation is key as well. Also from a founder to client side, so on the other way around, and the energy was there 100%. Thank you, Seb. Any where can people reach you? Want to plug in your offer, and hopefully anybody who sees this who may need your services can know where to find you.
Yeah, you can find me on LinkedIn with my name. You can find me on Instagram with my name as well. We have a website.
Beautiful website, by the way.
Which will be renewed for probably the 14th time.
A data analysis iteration. There we go. 14 website iterations. Thank you.